for you. Birmingham with Mike Taylor in goal as usual. Martin Taylor keeps his place in the back four, even though Raidi Jaidi is available again. Olivier Capo, once of Juventus, replaces Gary McSheffrey on the left of midfield. That's the only Birmingham change. James McFadden looks for his first St Andrews goal for Birmingham up front. And on the bench there, look for Mauro Zarate, an exciting Argentine winger who's on loan here.
Well, I think Callum McLeish is pretty much going to play quite a rigid 4-4-2, looking at the players there. Larsson definitely will give them width and give them penetration on the right. They'll be looking for Capo to add to his 5 league goals from this left-hand side. They're a little bit worried about him getting back in and helping Murphy at the back there, but it's a job he has to do. I just think with this team, 4 people have to play well and make life really difficult. That's Taylor and Ridgewell, the 2 centre-backs, and Mwamba and Johnson in front of them. If they can make things really difficult for Arsenal to play the little give and goes in and around the edge of the box, it might just give them a platform. And if they can get the ball up to McFadden, who might just play off for Sale a little bit today, if he can get the ball up to those 2 and get decent support from the wide areas, they just might have a chance today.
Arsenal's big decision was in goal. Manuel Almunia is fit again and reclaims the keeper's jersey from Jens Lehmann. With Kolo Touré out for 2 weeks with a calf injury, Philippe Senderos comes into the defence. Theo Walcott gets only his 5th Premier League start this season on the right with Eboué suspended. Emmanuel Adebayor looks to equal Arsenal's post-war record by scoring in 8 successive league games. And among the substitutes, Nicholas Bentner, whose goals helped Birmingham to promotion last season.
Well, we won't see anything other than a back 4 in there. Ahead of that, we've got Kleb playing from the left-hand side and Eduardo just off the front. They have at times played Eduardo wide and had Kleb playing in this position where he just floats in here. I just think today they're going to have to win this game. They'll feel they have. And they might just put Eduardo in a position where he can get up in contact with Adebayor.
It's been a frustrating week, really, for Arsenal, one way and another. The players just had a warm-down on Thursday in a very light training session yesterday, so hopefully the legs are fresh. Certainly the minds will be willing. They want the title back.
Well, I don't think there's a question about whether the legs are fresh or not. The vast majority of this team didn't play. Certainly didn't start at Old Trafford a week ago. They've had a big game where the adrenaline would have taken care of that against Milan in midweek. And they know they have to lift themselves today. I don't think there's a problem. If players get to this stage of the season then, and you're 5 points clear, Ian, you want to play.
And only a couple of times in the entire history of the Premier League in its present form has a lead such as this at this stage been forfeited, and not in the last 10 years. But Arsenal have got a tricky run in. They've certainly got to go to Chelsea and they've got to go to Manchester United yet as well. So it's an absolutely fascinating race. Birmingham City in a fight of their own down at the bottom, and many, many teams involved in that relegation argument. They're level on points with Reading just below them, who are in the relegation zone. But they did get a point at the Emirates a few games ago. So this is nicely set up, and Birmingham have tended to do rather well against the so-called Big Four this season. So what happens here? Can Arsenal bounce back from their difficult week, or will Birmingham spring a surprise at St Andrews? It's coming up live for you. Midlands as well. Birmingham haven't had a game for 2 weeks. Arsenal, of course, have been busy. And look at Emmanuel Adebayor. He's had the dreadlocks cut off. In a scoring streak like this.
Streamlining. Too much drag on them when he's running through.
I think the other day against Milan, when he hit the bar so dramatically towards the end, that was the first time he started a game since Boxing Day and hasn't scored, which is a pretty amazing run. On 22 for the season. Kick-off today, there will be a minute's applause in the memory of Len Boyd, who was the captain of the Birmingham City side, which reached the FA Cup final back in 1956. It was the same team with Birmingham legends like Gil Merrick and Trevor Smith and Jeff Hall, who sadly died of polio a few seasons after that, the right back. Those players fondly remembered by the older Birmingham fans. And Arsenal, by the way, are wearing black armbands today in memory of Omar Sanya, the brother of their right back, who died suddenly at the age of 29 a few days ago. So our thoughts go out to Bakali Sanya and his family. And before that, the Birmingham fans will pay their tribute to the memory of their former cup final skipper, Len Boyd.
He also captained the side to the Second Division Championship in 1955, and then the following season led the side out at Wembley in the cup final versus Manchester City in 1956. Please join us for a minute of applause. Thank you.
Died aged 84. Well, Arsenal 5 points clear, 12 to go. We're certainly at the sharp end of the season now, Andy.
At both ends, Ian, absolutely. Huge game for both clubs. Birmingham City didn't expect to be here of that. I'm absolutely convinced that they are, and they're very much right in the mix when it comes to staying in this league or not.
Mike Dean is the referee for this one. And Birmingham City in their blue and white strip, of course, getting us underway here at St Andrews. Gallas's header falls to Gael Clichy. Clichy under pressure straight away from Mikel Forsell.
I just think with Arsenal, if you sit off and you let them get into the rhythm and into the groove, they just grow, and they're very difficult to play against. Certainly teams that have given them a problem, or teams that have got in their face, made them play quickly, pressed them.
The form book says that Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League games and have won 8 of them, while Birmingham haven't had a win in 7, but it never works out quite like that. Well, not always, anyway.
Not always.
Just another ball. Looking to equal our Sky colleague Alan Smith's record of scoring in 8 successive league games for Arsenal. That's a post-war record. Here's Sanya. Now Fabregas. Walcott. Interesting to see how he does today, getting his chance with Eboué starting a 3-match suspension. Indeed, the Arsenal squad just a bit stretched one way and another at the moment, with injuries as well at the moment. No sign yet of a return for Robin van Persie, although they hope he'll be back in training in the next week or so.
Still a big team they could put out, still a strong side. Talked about Eduardo and where he might start and where Hleb might start. You can see with Hleb there right in the middle of the pitch. Eduardo started on this left-hand side. Something that Arsenal often does, particularly away from home.
And it seems to work all right as well. They've banged in 10 goals in their last 3 away games in the Premier League. It's a good run. Here is Hleb looking to make a nuisance of himself. Adebayor with a layoff, but a misunderstanding there. Fabregas has to work hard to get it back for Arsenal. He did it well too. Here is Eduardo.
And that'll be a foul.
And Martin Taylor. And the referee is calling him over to here. This is early as well.
Oh, I don't like the way...
It's red! It's a red card for Martin Taylor. Goodness me. And this is what, after 2.5 minutes of the game?
That's a break, Ian. I can see physio was immediately suggesting this is a break. He's one of the most experienced. Gary Lewin, who's gone out from Arsenal.
Real problems there for Eduardo. You can see the body language of Eduardo, and we do believe that this is a broken bone, unfortunately. Oh dear.
Well, you could tell as soon as Fabregas got to it. Well, we're not even going to look at the tackle again, Ian, to be honest. It's the lads have looked at it downstairs. It's horrific, and that's the last thing we want to be putting on.
Just as a matter of taste, I'm afraid.
He knew right away.
Well,
he can't believe it. Look, that's a really bad one.
And the Arsenal players, you can see that they are upset by what they have seen out there as well. So this might take some time, of course. Well, that is a wretched thing to happen. Meanwhile, Martin Taylor walks down the tunnel almost disconsolately, but that has become a side issue. And he's shaking his head, says Fabregas. It is, I'm afraid to tell you, as Andy was saying, our boys downstairs have been looking at the pictures, and we have decided as a matter of taste not to show you the pictures again, because it might be very, very upsetting.
Well, I know I don't want to see it.
I think everybody here knows the gravity of the situation for Eduardo. And you can see the Arsenal players are visibly shocked. It brings back memories of the David Boost injury
exactly
at Coventry, a player at Manchester United, doesn't it? I mean, you hope it doesn't turn out to be as serious as that, but...
Well, Adebayo, he's gone right across as far as he can get away from this incident. He's just gone over to the right. Look at him right at the top of your screen. He came over to see his mate, and he's just gone as far away from the incident as he possibly can get. I have to say, I'd be with him. I can't deal with things like that very well. Our thoughts are with Eduardo without a shadow of a doubt here.
And certainly, obviously, his last involvement for Arsenal this season as well. He's scored 12 goals as well, looked very, very sharp, and of course it comes at a time with Robin van Persie not close to a return just at the moment for the club as well. Rosicky still out injured, and but all our concerns really are for Eduardo's well-being in this situation. And obviously the medical team will take as long as it takes to make absolutely certain that Eduardo is given the best possible care. So there'll be a long delay here.
Yeah, it was, although the injury is horrific and the pictures are horrific, I think we'd have to say, in a footballing sense, that I think the reaction of the players wasn't to surround Martin Taylor and be accusing him of trying to do Eduardo. I don't think that was the case. I think the big lad just got done by the quick feet of Eduardo when he nicked the ball away from him. He committed to the tackle, and there's absolutely no doubt that when he caught Eduardo, he just snapped him. But I don't believe in my mind that was the intention, that any intention of Martin Taylor to do anything such as that. And I think the reaction of the Arsenal players said that. They were really upset because of the injury. It is a horrific one.
Well, we have seen, regrettably, this kind of thing before. We mentioned the David Boost injury, and there have been one or two others as well.
It's a case of take as long as you like, lads out there, and make sure you get him as comfortable and the leg as set as possible. We can wait as long as you like.
Upsetting for everybody connected with Arsenal Football Club. Gary Lewin, the physio, the England physio as well, he knew straight away, obviously.
Well, Fabregas did. That was it. He was as soon as he saw Fabregas, he was indicating to Gary Lewin, get yourself on here quick. This is bad. And then Gary Lewin immediately signalled to the bench it's a break.
How does this affect the players when the game resumes, the Arsenal boys?
I don't know. I really don't know. Ian, I wish I could answer you. Well, there's two ways, isn't there? They can use it as an inspiration and get the result for their pal and their mate, or it will affect one or two of them emotionally, and it might affect the performance. I don't know.
Of course, it also means for poor Eduardo that having done so much to get Croatia to the European Championships in the summer, he won't play.
No, not a chance. For things like that, though, as time will come again, it's just important that this initial little part here that they've got him set and comfortable as he possibly can, and there's absolutely no doubt the treatment he will receive from the club and the surgeons who need to deal with this will be top class, and his recovery is now going to be the most important thing, and his well-being.
And to give full credit to the Birmingham fans here, I think they fully realise the seriousness of the situation. They know. I think everybody knows. But we can but hope that Eduardo makes a recovery from that injury and will be able to play again in time. But it is a particularly nasty and horrific one, and just to recap, so horrific that we do not want to show you the pictures of that again. Credit to the medical teams for their job in making sure that Eduardo was as comfortable as possible before being taken, obviously, to hospital. And after all that, the game does resume. Just a reminder that Birmingham are down to 10 men. Martin Taylor sent off for the challenge. Fabregas. There's McFadden on the break here for Birmingham City. Stoppage lasted nearly 8 minutes.
Well, at the end of the day, it's gone now. Fabregas will have to clear his head. So will Adebayor, the ones that seem to be affected more than others, know that they have a job to do for the club, the team, the supporters and themselves. Damien Johnson, just a quick one on what Alec McLeish has done. Damien Johnson's gone to right back. Stephen Kelly's moved in one beside Liam Ridgewell. In a rejig back four.
I remember the day of that David Buist injury, Andy, where the players hardly made a tackle for 15 minutes afterwards.
Well, they might not hear it again. This might be an effect. I was actually at Sky that day watching it with Richard Keys just coming in, and you know, I don't believe anyone wants to see it, so I think they've made the right decision not putting it on. I really do.
I remember too Cisse getting a nasty one for Liverpool at Blackburn. Just hope Eduardo can make a recovery from that. Here's Gal Clichy on towards Alexander Hleb. That's obviously put a big dampener on things here. It's a massive problem, of course, for Birmingham City as well now, as if it wasn't hard enough playing the side who are clear at the top of the table with 11 men. They've got to try and do it with 10 now. McFadden helping this forward to Forcell. He looks to make a breakthrough here. Capo making a diagonal run ahead of him, and now here's Fabrice Mouin, the former Arsenal player, as is Sebastian Larsson, of course, in that Birmingham midfield. Walcott. It's cut out by Clichy. Clichy made his debut for Arsenal on this ground in the Invincibles season. Now then, promising situation for Theo Walcott here. It's a very good block by Murphy, the January signing from Hibs. Sagna plays this one in. Adebayo, oh, what a spring from him.
That's a threat. That's what Arsenal can do now. Teams are making it difficult for them to thread their little give and goes edge of the box. They can just launch it in like that. Happy in the knowledge that Adebayo usually gets something on it. There is some activity down on the bench.
Birmingham feeling like they've got to reorganise here a little, and Stuart Parnaby, the former Middlesbrough fullback, is going to come on. See exactly how they're going to play it in just a moment. Is Capo. It's going to be Mikel Forsell, who has to make way tactically. Tough luck on him. Is McFadden. Floor player. And of course, reunited with Alex McLeish, for whom he did great things with Scotland, including that memorable winner against France. Sagna skips past the challenge of Muamba. And Mike Taylor grabbing it out of the air.
Yeah, the cross just got away from him, just slid off his foot. And they want the ball out so they can make the change.
The ball thrown out of play, so this change can be made here by Birmingham City. And up comes Mikel Forsell. He understands the need for it, I'm sure, but it's tough luck, isn't it? So it looks like Kelly's going into the centre of defence, Andy.
Yeah, Kelly was there. Parnaby's just got it right back. It means they can put Damien Johnson back into midfield. I'm not surprised that Forsell's been sacrificed. He has trouble with injuries and getting through lots of games, and he's been asked to play up top now on his own. But it's also a position that McFadden has done with Scotland under Art McLeish, just played up front on his own. So Art McLeish knows that he can do that, James McFadden.
Let's get down to the touchline, get a bit of news from Jeff Shreves.
Yes, and unfortunately, due to the serious nature of that injury, Eduardo didn't even go to the dressing room for further assessment. Straight up the old tunnel here at St Andrews, into the ambulance, and he's off to Selly Oak Hospital. And I can tell you, it's not just the players that are in shock. Some of the medical staff are genuinely ashen-faced, visibly distressed as to the nature of the injury. Very, very sad news indeed.
Thank you very much indeed, Jeff. It's a terrible injury here for Eduardo. Murphy plays this forward. McFadden couldn't go for that. He was in an offside position when it was played. There's Flamini, who's had such an outstanding season for Arsenal. Murphy looking to make a run, but Fabregas is there. Fabregas offside here. Adebayor, it's not going to count. No, they wouldn't have done.
Just went a little early. They actually played it quite well, Birmingham at the back. They held the line pretty well. Look at Parnaby. He might have been easy. He might have easily could have been tempted to go back in, run in there, but he stood out well. Well offside.
And look at Gary Lewin, the Arsenal physio, who can barely watch the game. And we've seen a few things in his time as well, wouldn't he, Gary?
Well, he's seen a lot, but I would hasten to add, I don't think he's ever seen anything the likes of which he's just had to deal with. No, there's no doubt if it was over the top, it's out of character from Martin Taylor. Mike Dean obviously thought it was. Had a pretty good look at it. Very quick to show him the red card.
Cut out by Clichy. Fabregas from distance whistles over the top.
Good hit. just gets a little bit of space. He does like to get into this little position, and that's what Mwamba and Damien Johnson are going to have to be careful about. Is that Fabregas popping up time and again in that little area to either strike it goal or slide in someone.
Almost unnoticed as Eduardo was being treated. Nicholas Bentner came on to play at St Andrews, where he scored 11 goals in the league campaign last year as Birmingham City were promoted under Steve Bruce. So well remembered here, but he's got a different kind of job to do today in the red and white of the Gunners. And Arsenal, of course, if they didn't have enough motivation already, will want to do it for Eduardo here. Clichy. Even the crowd seem upset, don't they? Both sets of supporters.
Well, I don't think anyone likes to see a player stretch it off, and I think it was evident to everybody, even, you know, likes of you and I, this side of the ground. We had no idea of the severity of the challenge because everyone's back to us on this end, so we couldn't see it. I'm glad I didn't see it, if I'm honest with you. But everyone realised football fans are still football fans, and they don't want to see players carried off with horrific leg injuries.
Here's Alex Klebb. Fabregas. Arsenal's last 3 away games: a 4-1 win at Everton, a 3-0 win at Fulham, a 3-1 win at Manchester City. So they're certainly not suffering any kind of travel sickness. Here's Larsson, who's just won his first cap for Sweden. Made him a proud young man. This time it's Senderos. Larsson saying, I didn't do anything, I think, to Senderos. So what this is about is he's mystified.
Well, I think it might just be a trailing leg, watch his right leg, and Larsson's is just... maybe it's just like a tree falling for Senderos there.
If there was contact, it was hard to see it. Now then, McFadden, can he nip in here? Good cover from Sanya. Here's Olivier Capo. Could have produced something, that.
You see Clichy there when he got up against Capo. He knows, I think, even now, about the left foot of Capo. It is pretty potent, and he showed him outside and say, go on, if you want to go onto your right side, then we'll take that, because we might be able to deal with it easier.
He started the season, didn't he, with a great goal at Stamford Bridge. Mr. Capo, talking about that left foot as you were, Andy. Here's Walcott. Now Nicholas Bentner. Clichy.
Well, they normally have a lot of the ball. They might just even have more than normal today, Arsenal.
Lovely little cute ball. Walcott there, it's just a bit too near the goalkeeper.
Just wrong angle. Playing it full first time like that, it's got to come a little squarer away from Mike Taylor.
Still waiting for his first Premier League goal for Arsenal, Theo Walcott. Saw him score a scorcher for the England under-21 side the other night down at Southampton, his old home. Brilliant goal. Flamini and Fabregas, the old firm, in the centre of the midfield. Well, they're the old firm now, anyway. Adebayor to Walcott. Cut out by Kelly with the new job in the centre of the defence now. Walcott again, that's going to be too long, I think, for Bentner. Interesting to see Bentner and Adebayor, who had that very public falling out recently, paired together up front now.
That's all right. I don't know a team throughout history where players haven't had little spats. Fortunately for those two, it was just in a game, it was live on television.
Yes, it's usually on the training ground, isn't it?
Yeah, usually, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, they get on with it. They're playing for Arsenal, they're playing for Arsene Wenger, they're playing for the Arsenal supporters, so you don't have to like a player to be able to play alongside him. I should know.
I won't ask who you're talking about. I better not, had I? Here's Walcott. Adebayor.
I think we might see a lot of this today with Arsenal, with the ball 25, 30 yards from Birmingham's goal line. Because when they have it like this, they'll just back off. Birmingham is almost like a training session, where you play against a back four and a midfield four, and you have 11 players.
Certainly going to be a little test. That's Barnaby, who looked to be caught out for a moment there by Flamini, but free kick's been given.
Well, obviously he thinks there was a little tug here, a little drag back just there. Just edges him out the way. You see he has a hold of him. It's about a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Barnaby had a chunk of Flamini's shirt.
By the way, Flamini, along with Cleven Fabregas, yet to taste defeat in the Premier League this season. They weren't in the team when Arsenal lost for the only time at Middlesbrough. Flicked on towards Bentner. Midfield players arriving as well. Kleb. This is going to be difficult for Birmingham, playing 87 minutes here with 10 men against a side like Arsenal, who will just be passing it around them.
Well, that's why they'll just back off. There's no point in chasing it now or trying to put pressure on it, because they'll get picked off with a man less. So it'll be get back when they lose possession, back to the edge of the 18-yard box, make Arsenal work really hard to find a breakthrough, and hope that the occasional time they can get up in an area like this, they can get enough men forward, or they can get a set piece, corner or a free kick, and then work something.
You'd have to say, wouldn't you, looking at it from this far, that a point would be a heroic effort from Birmingham in all the circumstances. Anything more than that would be something stupendous. Playing with 10 men.
No, you see, you get it here, if they can work a corner or something. And they've got the one in the box, and that's Larson. So
Murphy plays a good ball in to McFadden, who's full of tricks, of course.
I just think they might have been better trying to work for the corner, McFadden.
Clichy. Now Mathieu Flamini. Birmingham getting everybody back behind the ball, bar McFadden. Clichy. Capo for Birmingham City, who've dropped too many points recently against the sides around them in the table. Reading, Fulham and Derby all got 1-1 draws here. Those were games Birmingham really needed to win.
Don't forget Sunderland, right at the beginning of the season. That's 4 teams with them, and they haven't beaten any of them. That's the results that have contributed to Birmingham being there.
Clichy. The ball in towards Adebayor. Ridgewell cuts it out. They'll be busy back there, those Birmingham defenders today. Bet on that. Clichy again. Senderos. Fabregas, for whom the goals have rather dried up after the glut of goals he got earlier in the season. Remember, he scored 6 in a row. He's only got 1 in the last 15 games, the midfield player. I'm sure there are more to come. Walcott. Good ball in. Flamini looked to volley it. And Bentner.
Well, neither of them got it quite right. Flamini's obviously is a swing. He's looking to swing at this and volley it in. Didn't quite get it right. And, well, Bentner looking to bend it in the far corner. That's one of those where you're often better getting them up a couple of yards off the ground. Makes it more difficult for the goalkeeper.
Kleb does well. Good ball. Fabregas no, too far ahead of Adebayor.
I thought he might have turned and travelled with the ball, says Fabregas. Again, he got himself in beside Johnson and Mwamba and behind them, going at the back four.
Murphy, good ball forward again, finding McFadden. He's the player who just might be able to make something happen with his flair, and he's got a free kick on the edge. Now, this is the kind of thing Birmingham might profit from.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's why I think Alex McLeish has kept him there on his own, because McFadden is capable of working something out of nothing. He's not even got control of the ball, but you can see Flamini just eases him away from it. Knows what he's doing. And when you're down to 10 men, these are the situations that you have to make count. corners, free kicks around the box, because in open play you're going to get few and far between chances.
Well, McFadden is there with Seb Larsson. How he'd love to score against his old club. Olivier Capo's left foot. That's the brains trust. Damien Johnson wants a word as well. It's McFadden, and he's done it too. It's a glorious goal. His first at St Andrews for Birmingham City. His first for his new club on this ground, and that is priceless for Birmingham. It was a peach of a goal.
Well, Arsene Wenger's out asking Mike Dean about the free kick, but it was one, I think. But that's why Purcell was sacrificed for him to play up front, because he has this in his locker. It's a lovely free kick. Maybe Almunia might think he could have done better. He gets across it, but it's got a good height in it, and that's the key. If you can get up into that top corner, it makes it really hard to save. Lovely flighted free kick. There were a few boos, you know, when Purcell came off. I think the St Andrews faithful thinking, oh, we'd like him to have stayed on, but that's why. The reasons he can play up top on his own, he can win free kicks, he can keep the ball, and also if he gets a free kick, he can do that.
Now that is gold dust for Birmingham City. It's one of the reasons they shelled out £5 million, rising to £6 million for James McFadden. Almunia got something on it, but not enough.
Yeah, he got across there. Say that about Almunia.
Work to do here for Arsenal. Cleared to Walcott. Too long, said. He had players like Adebayor and Bentner waiting in there, but he couldn't find either of them.
Well, he wasn't happy, Arsene Wenger, after the goal because of the free kick. I think he's still complaining about it. Well, listen, the one thing about this, he loses possession there, but watch Flamini as he steps across it and he just leans back into McFadden. Now, the referee sees that, and his decision is, you were doing it deliberately. I think it's a free kick. Now, he gets across it, but it's the height that causes the problem. If it's 6 inches lower, he saves it.
Almunia restored to the side today. We wondered whether Jens Lehmann might keep his place, but Almunia returns now that he's over his dislocated finger and a recent bout of illness. I'm sure, being a bit of a perfectionist, he'll be thinking, I might have stopped that. Clichy. Was a great free kick, though, by McFadden.
Yeah, it was.
Scored a penalty, didn't he, at West Ham, that was worth a point for Birmingham in their last match. How much will that goal be worth the time we're through today?
No, we've got an hour to protect it.
Walcott. Adebayor was doing a bit of pushing and shoving that Mike Dean didn't like.
Well, he's been chosen today instead of Jens Lehmann, who's played a couple of games. And he's back in, Almunia. Sitting on the bench is as good as he can get, Jens Lehmann.
Now the tables have been turned. He was always the number one.
Yeah.
When he was fit again, he came back in the side. That was also always Arsene Wenger's policy, and he's kept to that with Almunia, who he regards as the number one now. Away by Gallas. Liam Ridgewell, brave enough to make the move across Birmingham from Aston Villa. I think the first player to do that since Des Bremner in 1984.
Right now. Well, I think for Arsenal, I mean, whatever thoughts, and I'm sure there are plenty of them, that the players in the players' mind about their teammate Eduardo, they have to put them now to the back of their minds and just play a football match and get themselves back in.
Clichy. Good looking ball in towards Adebayor. Bentner on the turn. It was blocked, and it was a very, very good block as well, too, by Kelly. He needed to get in the way, and he did there.
Well, Birmingham just have to keep doing things like that, getting bodies in the way, working very hard, winning second balls.
Muamba.
Oh, just need this little heavy-handed with his pass, that's all.
Well, this is fascinatingly set up, and of course among interested observers will be Sir Alex Ferguson and the Manchester United players who play at Newcastle later on. Arsenal behind here at Birmingham City.
I just think Chelsea and Van Grant, his boys will be having a little eye on this result as well at the moment.
Bentner. Here's Kleb, who was out with a foot injury yesterday, but is fit to play here. Sanya. Adebayor looking to flick it on.
He's got him off. Obviously feels he was coming back from an offside position. Theo Walcott.
Still only 18, it's hard to believe. Theo Walcott will be 19 next month. Arsene Wenger saying recently that he hadn't developed in quite as fast as he had hoped.
Yeah, well, it's a big ask at 18. I think he feels the same though, the young man. I think he feels he maybe could have done better this season, but I wouldn't be too damning on him at 18 years of age.
Still plenty of time, isn't there? Kleb. Fabregas with the layoff to Clichy.
Keeper.
Taylor says that's mine. One of the few Birmingham players who knows what it's like to beat Arsenal. They've only beaten them once in Premier League history. And that was at the tail end of the season 3 seasons ago when Emu Heskey got a last-minute winner. Damian Johnson.
Offside again. I think the one thing I was surprised, I saw the betting today on Arsenal winning the title, and I think they were 8 to 11 on. Odds on. And I looked around the team that was selected today. And I know Clichy's got a championship winning medal, but he played about 11, 12 games that season. He was there, and Ashley Cole was a left back. But only Gallas there knows what it's like to see out a championship. None of the others know what the last 10, 11 games are like, and they are different.
That's right, he's replaced virtually the entire side since that 2004 Invincibles side, which of course was built around the likes of Vieira and Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Pires.
And that's why I think Alex Ferguson is only 5 points behind. Is hugely convinced that, you know, as I am, that the race for this title is far, far, far from over.
Adebayor, Ridgewell did very well indeed.
To play it.
Ridgewell. He's still got it as well. Here's one of the runs of the season from a central defender. Great stuff.
Well, the two number 6s come head to head in a very extraordinary way and in a strange position in the left back area of Arsenal. Well, eventually he couldn't run through Senderos.
He's gone down with an injury. Senderos is going to be all right. One of the diary columnists was mentioning Ridgewell this week. Apparently he was charged £7 to leave his son in the club creche. I can afford it, can't he?
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Kleb again. Arsenal, understandably, under a cloud after the horrific injury to Eduardo in the 3rd minute of the match, but they have a job to do now in the bigger context of the title chase.
Yeah, they have what they're actually paid to do, don't they? And that's win a match. And keep Arsenal 5 points ahead of Manchester, or 8 points ahead, put them 8 ahead.
Larson on the header, is McFadden again. touch of magic from him has got Birmingham in a good position here. Parnaby with the cross. Remember, Arsenal haven't scored for the first time this season in their last 2 matches. The one at Manchester United in the FA Cup where they barely turned up, in truth. And the Milan match where they created plenty, but
yeah, but
put any of them in.
None of them are league matches.
Well, there you go.
Premier League's what it's all about today.
Yeah, and the top scorers in
record on that. Yeah.
The Birmingham corner. Which McFadden is going to take. Ridgewell is in there. He's very good in the air. It's easy for Almunia.
Yeah, a little bit too much height in that from James McFadden. He's always going to tempt the goalkeeper to come and get it.
Sanya with a speedy run down the right-hand side. He's been a good signing, the man from Auxerre.
Yeah, that's a great tackle from Walcott.
Fabregas. It has to be said, Birmingham doing this without too many alarms so far.
At the moment, they've defended well, got people back behind the ball, made life difficult, but it's very tiring working without the ball for a long time in the game, and it might take a while, and Arsenal will be thinking that sometimes somebody might just switch off. Tired legs, tired minds.
Yeah, last 15-20 minutes could be hard for them, couldn't it?
The first port of call is half-time. If Alex McLeish's side can get to half-time at 1-0, well, what a boost that would be.
Fabregas, Adebayor flagged down, Adebayor, and he can't finish it this time. Big chance that.
Well, by his standards, that is a golden opportunity. And it's a golden opportunity because it sits soft for him. I mean, as that ball comes over, it just sits up nice and soft. There's no great pace on it. It's a comfortable height, just a little side foot and it's in, but he opens his foot up and it just comes off at a funny angle. Doesn't really control it the way he should have done. First big chance of the match for Arsenal. Super ball, mind you.
That did open Birmingham City up. And you'd have backed Adebayor on his current scoring run of, what is it, 12 goals in the last 10 matches to put that in. Pleb. Towards Adebayor again. He's such a menace, isn't he?
Well, it's not an easy header. When you're under pressure, what is he? 10, 11 yards out when he eventually meets this. So it's not easy to get enough power and direction at the same time. But the threat's there. And it's his weaker side, I would guess, coming in from there.
And that, of course, is the option that even the invincible side of 2004 didn't have the aerial power up front. For all his genius, Thierry Henry didn't score too many headers, as I recall.
No, he did not. But he didn't need to be fair.
No, that's true. He didn't, yes. He did a fair bit else, didn't he? Yes, Gallas. Arsene Wenger's team talk will have to be perhaps even better than usual here, bearing in mind everything that's happened.
Yeah.
These players obviously have to refocus on the job to be done. Bentner, Walcott.
This has really been, a fascinating way the game's been played. Like, with Birmingham camped basically on the edge of the box when Arsenal do get the ball, they just drop off, concede the ground, get men in there and just say, go on then. If you're that good, play your way through us. And at the moment, apart from that one raking ball from Fabregas of about 40, 50 yards over to Adebayor, they haven't really gotten in behind Birmingham or really threatened Mike Taylor too much.
And Birmingham have done well against the big clubs this season. And Chelsea and Manchester United won here, but Birmingham played very well and were unlucky in both of those games by, I think, common consent. Also got a draw at Arsenal and at Anfield. Sanya up towards Adebayor again. He keeps winning the headers.
Again, though, he's under just enough pressure from Stephen Kelly. I mean, if he doesn't get any body contact, Kelly, here, then Adebayor might make a better header, but because he backs into him, it does knock you off balance when you got for a header, and it does stop you getting the power you would like.
Playing a handball there, at least the fans are, not the Birmingham players. McFadden, who's made a nuisance of himself up there. This is long towards Adebayor again. Kelly's got a bit of work to do, and he does it well enough. Made more Premier League appearances than any other Birmingham player this season, the former Spurs man, Stephen Kelly.
Just trying to force it there. Cesc Fabregas had an easy ball to Gal Clichy. This is a classic example we're seeing here how if you're organised and you work really hard, if you're down to 10 men, it is not a given that the team against you is just going to open you up time again and score. We're watching today just how difficult Birmingham City with 10 men are making it for one of the best footballing sides in Europe. By just getting back behind the ball like now, 8 players and in behind it and saying, go on. Men have done this in training awfully enough as a drill, both teams.
One big chance for Adebayor. Really the sum total for Arsenal so far. But they've scored in every Premier League game bar one, the 0-0 draw at Portsmouth over Christmas. So they'll fancy themselves to nick one. Sanya, maybe more than one.
There's another one that surprised me this afternoon, Capo. I think at times I'm talking about Capo just there beside him. He's worked really hard. I always thought there might be a little bit of a question mark over his ability to help his team defensively. Maybe it's just the situation that's inspired him.
A free kick here on the edge of the box. And danger, alarm bells.
Yeah, it's a nice little drag from Flamini. Larson is guilty of just putting a leg in there. Flamini knew it was coming.
And this comes in first half stoppage time. But first half stoppage time is probably a record 9 minutes.
We know
because
why.
of the injury to Eduardo, of course.
And I don't think anybody would have cared if it was 15 or 20, Ian, as long as the boy got sorted. No, it's been a while. The young man, the little maestro, the little inspiration they have, the number 4 shirt. If ever it was needed in a game, it's now.
It is Fabregas against the wall, though. Walcott. Taylor ought to be favourite, but Bendner's header, but there was some pushing. He wouldn't have counted anyway. He was kicked off the line in any case.
Well, I wonder if this is one of those generous free kicks that referees give goalkeepers. I don't think Bentner does anything. I just wonder if it's Adebayor. They're looking, they're scrambling away at it, and he comes up, and it's a lovely leap. It must be Adebayor he's penalised, because can't really be Bentner. That Bentner goes up, Adebayor does knock him. You see that there. That's who the free kick's against, not against Bentner.
We saw a particularly generous one, didn't we, that Newcastle looked to have scored a perfectly good goal up against Middlesbrough for an alleged push on Schwarzer.
You mean the phantom push? A bit like the phantom punch at the Sonny Liston all those years ago, eh?
Oh, I know, you're going back. Clichy plays this one in. Oh, Adebayor brought it down and was waiting to pull the trigger, but Ridgewell just nicked it away in the nick of time. Sanya. Fabregas. Birmingham working so hard in defence of their lead. Kleb. Johnson. It's important to have him back for recent games. A tigerish little character in the midfield. He's been a good signing for Birmingham. He only cost them 50 grand as well.
I just think that Arsenal might have to just keep stretching it a little bit more, going from left to right and right to left. Just working Birmingham, because both fullbacks really don't have to worry about defending at the moment. They can play as high up the pitch as you want. And Hleb and Walcott can tuck in a little bit if they want to. As Hleb's doing now, and Clichy can just play up here.
Here is Clichy. Hleb. It's intricate, a bit too intricate. And once again, they can't find the combination to the safe. All very narrow, Birmingham crowding out, giving away another free kick. Flamley's the player brought down, a few verbals between him and the Birmingham players.
Well, again, that was another one of those. Wamba committed to the tackle. Flamini just nicked it round the side of him. He can't stop once he's made his move to tackle here. Watch this, there he goes, he comes into the tackle. As soon as that's flicked past him, contact was there, and inevitable. Well, his free kick a minute ago wasn't up to his usual standards. What is this? Oh, about 30 yards, might be right on his maximum. If he decides to go for goal, certainly not a run-up that suggests that.
He doesn't go for goal. It's Senderos who got forward from the back, but loops his header over the bar.
And didn't quite get up and over it the way he'd liked. It's a nice little spin from him, mate. He makes a nice little movement. It's just a little too high for him.
Senderos did score in the last Premier League game against Blackburn Rovers. They could have done with another one from him there. Bit of a story unfolding here. There'll be a few twists and turns in this title race, and indeed in the relegation scrap as well before we're through. It's nearly a third of the season left. Bit of a miscue by Clichy, I fancy. Fabregas. Hleb. Fabregas again. Looking for a bit of room. It's another good block. More good defending. Parnaby got in the way of that one. Larson gets it forward, and McFadden is onside here. Can he make it 2-0? Oh, that really would have been smash and grab. Great chance.
Well, that is a glorious chance, but he gave Senderos a chance. Because as it goes over the top, he's naturally left-footed, but he brings it across his body. Instead of taking it a little bit the other way to keep it away from Senderos and keep it on his strong left side, he gave Senderos a chance. It wasn't the best first touch. But what an opportunity. What a chance for Birmingham City.
They've had one real chance. They've scored from it. They had another one there. Couldn't put that one away. Bentner brings it down on his chest. It just gets away from him a little. And Johnson nicks it away for Birmingham City. A heroic performance from the home side so far. Gallas. There's William Gallas again, has been the saviour a couple of times for his side this season. Fabregas not got the shooting boots on so far.
Just getting a little impatient, but the big chance is this one. I mean, he keeps himself onside by bending his run, but what I'm saying is, take it away from Senderos. But see that touch? It brought it back infield. It straightened him up too much. He surely had to keep that on his left side, away from the centre-back, and that would have given them the time to get a good strike on it. No surprise that from McFadden.
Yeah, and that would have given Birmingham a vital 2-goal cushion to defend.
I mean, as we approach half-time, there's no doubt the talk around this ground will be about the injury to Eduardo. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to make up my mind whether others will tell us whether it was a really bad tackle from Martin Taylor or whether he just got done with Eduardo's quick feet. If it was a bad tackle, then you can't defend it. It's as simple as that.
And it was a red card. Anybody late tuning in, by the way, wondering why this half is going on so long? Eduardo, a horrific injury, a broken leg. A bad one too. Early on in the game, a long delay of nearly 8 minutes. Martin Taylor sent off for the challenge, and then Birmingham stealing ahead with a goal. Peach of a free kick from James McFadden, but here come Arsenal trying to find an equalizer. Clichy. Kelly got it away. Clegg.
I just think strangely for Arsenal, I don't think I see this with them. I don't think they're working the ball around the pitch enough. A little anxious, over-eager to get it in the middle. Give it right back, and if you have to come back and work Birmingham across the pitch again, do it.
Sanya plays this one in. Ridgewell won the header.
Because Birmingham's defended that kind of thing quite well today.
It's McFadden again. Possession rather surrendered when Birmingham needed to keep it. They're going to have to run their legs off even more in this second half. We will get to the 45 minutes there, but it might seem like about 4 hours for Birmingham. Murphy on his weaker right foot. He was just caught by McFadden's arm as he tried to break forward there. Left back made nothing of it and has won the ball back here again.
Well, Parnaby was just so slow to react to the ball played to him.
Sanya again. Walcott. Sanya. Too long for Adebayor. And at last it is half-time. A half overshadowed by a terrible broken leg injury for Eduardo, who has gone to hospital. An injury so horrific that we did not want to show you that again. Martin Taylor was sent off, and then James McFadden with a beautifully curled free kick to give Birmingham a surprise lead here. It is 1-0 to Birmingham at half-time.
Not Arsenal out of sorts, and understandably so as well. David Platt, who was a double winner with them back in '98, is our guest this afternoon. And we'll have a look back on that extended 45 and more when we come back. Birmingham in front.
I think they've got to keep the ball. I think they've got to retain the width a little bit more. I think they can push players forward. For me, the fullbacks aren't joining in enough. And like I said before, just be a bit more patient and try and open Birmingham up, you know, before you put the ball in, so that there's more space in the box when the actual cross does go in.
But there's from the 45 minutes, there's no zip about them at all, is there?
There isn't, and you know, we saw last Sunday against Manchester United, there was no heart there, and we gave them the benefit of the doubt in that game because we said that, you know, is the FA Cup that prominent in the minds? I think during the week against Milan.
Is there a hangover as a result of the midweek? Is there a little bit of tiredness about them?
Potentially, but I think we're making excuses for them, and we shouldn't be doing that. You know, if they've got pretensions of going on and winning the league, and they've now got this 5-point cushion, then they've got to come to places like Birmingham City, and regardless of what happens, they have to go out and they have to win the football match.
What's Alex McLeish's biggest concern, bearing in mind he's got a 1-0 lead to protect with 10?
Well, anything can happen, can't it? When you're in 10, it's just about concentration, it's about discipline. You know, the way that Arsenal are playing in that first half, I don't think he'll have too many concerns. He'll believe that his side can keep a clean sheet.
But he'll know surely they've got to get better.
Yes, he will do. And that's all it's about now. It's about concentration and discipline. I don't think you're going out searching for another goal. If one comes, then fine. But just concentration and discipline.
OK, well, let's rejoin our match commentators, Andy Gray and Ian Dark.
Many thanks, Richard. An understandably subdued Arsenal, perhaps, in that first half, but they have to put the injury to Eduardo out of their minds now, because they cannot afford to slip up in games like this, as Manchester United will be waiting to pounce, I'm sure, 5 points behind at the start of play. But for Birmingham, great effort so far, Andy.
Yeah, we were talking about the football. Birmingham have been excellent. I have to say, though, the team like Arsenal often likes a team to come at them, Ian, and they pick them off at times. The difficulty for Arsenal has been that Birmingham, when they've lost the ball, have just dropped straight back, edge of the box, and said to Arsenal, go on, we're going to trust our ability to defend. And they've defended really well this season as a whole, Birmingham City. Scoring goals has been a problem. Defending have been pretty good. They've just got to hope that they can do it for another 45, but I can't believe that Arsenal won't up the tempo a little bit and test Mike Taylor a little bit more than he did first half. Too much is at stake for this Arsenal side today.
You expect to see Arsenal really at it in this second half and chasing this very hard indeed. Birmingham know there's a lot more work to do. Still playing, remember, with 10 men after Martin Taylor's sending off. Arsenal's run-in includes Villa, Liverpool and Everton at home, and Chelsea, Manchester United away. So there's an awful lot of football left in this title race left. And by the way, Birmingham's run-in isn't too clever either. Could come down to their away games with Reading, Wigan and Fulham, whether they manage to stay in this division. If they got anything out of this, it really would be a bonus. And now they can even think of getting 3 points out of it. Clichy under pressure from Seb Larsson on that side. Good point you made in the first half, Andy, about how few players in this Arsenal squad have actually been there and won a championship before. You get the feeling Gallas will be important for them, having done it twice with Chelsea.
Well, they'll be able to tell them a few things, but telling people is one thing, experience it is another.
Got to hold the nerve.
Yeah, they have.
Here is Gallas. Fled. Clichy on the overlap again. He's played a lot of crosses in there, but Birmingham defenders have got in the way, and that time it was Fabrice Muamba who got it away. The England under-21 international player, teammate of Walcott's in that side.
Well, they've got a fair few they can threaten aerially from this.
Fabregas plays it in. Bentner attacks it on the near post, but heads it upwards and over.
Not a very good header. No, it wasn't. I think the run was a good one. Ball flighted in was nice. I'm not sure if it just comes off his shoulder. Just misses it. Mistimes the header. Yeah, it does. Just doesn't get it at all with his head. Half a chance, that.
David Murphy picked up an injury in that incident. Player bought for £1.5 million from Hibernian. A player who scored against Rangers, that'll make you wince, Andy, and Celtic during his time at
well,
Hibernian.
that's not so bad then.
You forgive him.
But even now, Adebayor was just having a word with Mike Dean about the time.
Still limping a bit, Murphy, as well. Birmingham physio will be keeping a close watch on him. He's struggling a little bit at the moment, the left back. There's the opposite left back, Clichy, forward to Kleb. Clichy again, he's a real athlete, isn't he, with Olympian speed. Kleb broke for him. In towards Fabregas, Adebayor. Toe-ends it out to Sanya on this side. Flamini's shot is charged down. Arsenal again camped out in the Birmingham half. But what can they create? Gael Clichy plays it wide. Here's Kleb once more. Fabregas looking to bend one. Oh, it's a great save. Mike Taylor stretched. Great elasticity.
Well, this is the best effort of the match from Arsenal. Worked the ball really well this time. Kept it, worked the position. Didn't just toss it in. And that's as close as they've come. Super save.
Here's the corner. Fabregas plays it in. It's away by McFadden, not far. Kleb with an effort, and Taylor tips that over. It's another corner.
Well, this is a simple save in the end. It's just a little stab forward from Kleb. Doesn't get any power on it. Might have been going over. Might have caught it.
Taylor comes to that, he's beaten in the air. Oh, and it's put into the back of the net. Theo Walcott, and Arsenal are level. It's his first ever Premier League goal for Arsenal.
Well, Mike Dean gave a foul against Adebayor first half, and they're asking Birmingham City, why is there no foul this half? Watch Adebayor all over the goalkeeper, arm all over them. Now look where Mike Dean is, a really poor position to see that. That's more of a foul than anything he did first half. Up over the goalkeeper, stopping him jumping. Gets the advantage. You do not see that very often in this game.
Taylor is complaining about it, but the goal is given. Well, a lot of people say goalkeepers are a protected species, but they weren't there.
Well, I'm one of them. But you have to play by what the rules are these days. I think he's lucky to get away with that, Adebayor. That's normally 9 times out of 10, the whistle would go, free kick would be given.
It's a big moment for Theo Walcott. He scored in other competitions for Arsenal, but never in the big league before. Clichy, great run. Arsenal will fancy themselves to go on and win this now. Just what they wanted right at the start of the second half. Capo. Here's McFadden.
That McFadden miss right at the end of the first half now looks a big miss. Didn't get to 5 minutes of the second half without conceding.
Walcott lifted by his goal. Takes on Murphy. Good challenge from the left back. Some controversy over that Arsenal.
Yeah, there will be, because the goalkeeper's at Adebayor's up. You know, I think it's a brilliant leap. I have to say, I think it's a brilliant. Look how early he goes up. Look where the referee is. He's not going to get a good view of that. But 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, that's a free kick now. I just happen to think it was a brilliant leap. He has got some spring on him.
Walcott wants a bit of Adebayor rather wants a bit of pain-killing spray from Gary Lewin.
Well, he just had a strapping on his thigh. He just wanted cut off, actually. He's obviously not restricting him a little, so just cut it off quickly.
Clichy and Fabregas. Clichy again, he's come forward a lot down that left-hand side. Obviously has license to do that, the way this is set up with Birmingham down to 10. Another Arsenal corner. Flamini, air shot. Seb Larsson.
Oh, just needs to flick that down the line, Larsson. The cap will run onto it.
Bit of room out here for Fabregas. Not quite the touch Adebayor meant, but it fell nicely for Alex Webb anyway. Deflected, and another fine save from Taylor, who had to readjust.
Yeah, the deflection didn't do too much harm to this shot. I would expect Mike Taylor to save that. It's not far enough away from her. Comfortable. Pushes it away.
Another corner.
And look where the referee's position is this time. See that?
Webb. And now Capo. And Birmingham have to look for quick breaks. And this trading, that's all they can really do. Larsson has produced one great pass already that nearly set up a second for Birmingham.
Well, Arsenal just got to be careful now. They've got the goal back, so the majority of the second half still to play. Pressure off them a little. Just be careful they don't get loose at the back and sloppy.
Clichy again, too long for Adebayor. Murphy gets it away for Birmingham, who are really on the back foot now.
You just think that Bentner, who did so much to get them up last year, Birmingham, when he was here on loan, it would just be made for him to get the winner for Arsenal, wouldn't it?
Well, he'd like that. I think the Birmingham plans when Adebayor tries to bend one. Ridgewell got in the way of it. This is getting hard and harder for Birmingham now. Adebayor out to Theo Walcott again, little cushion, and Fabregas has hit the post, and this time Lady Luck was smiling on Birmingham.
Super effort. Makes his mind up really quickly here, says Fabregas. As it arrives, so I'm just going to turn and hit it. He does it beautifully. Oh, Mike Taylor's a little bit lucky here. Could come off that post and go anywhere, but where's it land? Right in his hands.
Thank you, woodwork, I think it was what Mike Taylor was saying there.
Different mood now. The attempts are growing. Still like a few more on target, Arsene Wenger, I think.
McFadden really found Olivier Capo, who looks frustrated, the former Juventus player. To put Arsenal ahead is the Theo Walcott show here in the second half at St Andrews.
Well, Arsene Wenger's waited all season for the boy to progress, he says. Didn't progress as much as he'd like. It's a mistake by Ridgewell. And he didn't even look for Bentner, who was to his left and wide open, because he's got a goal, and he just fancied another one. It's a wonderful finish. This is unsavable. Just opens it up there, drags it away from Kelly. Suddenly the yard arrives that he can drive it into. And with his weaker side and with his confidence high, it's a super finish.
He wasn't frightened to hit it with the left foot. 2 goals in 5 minutes and 46 seconds, I'm told by our statistics team. For Theo Walcott, he did get 2 in the Champions League in a game against Slavia Prague earlier in the season. He had a stormer that night and should have had a hat-trick in the end. He's on one now.
Well, I just get the feeling half-time was really important for Arsenal today. After what went on with Eduardo's injury, I think it was important for Arsene Wenger to get his team in at half-time and have a chat with them and just put them right and get them refocused again on the job at hand. I think he probably did that, the Arsenal manager, knowing him. And they've come out and responded really, really well. Question marks over Adebayor's challenge, possibly. I tend to think the more you see it, the more you think it's a fantastic leap.
Kelly got enough on that. Now Murphy.
No, Birmingham might just have a little change, think about it.
Jeff Shreves has some news for us on the touchline.
Yes, more bad news for Birmingham. Olivier Capo's just pulled up, holding the back of his hamstring. Looks like he's going to have to come off. Zarate looks like to be the replacement.
Thank you very much indeed. The second injury of the day. And it looks like we're going to see Mauro Zarate. There's an interesting story, more of him later, if and when we see him. Sanya. Deep towards Adebayor. Kelly got it away. Kleb hasn't scored in his last 15 matches, Alex Kleb, and rather stubbed his toe hitting that one.
Yeah, that is a factor he has to address a little bit, Alexander Kleb. I think he needs to contribute more goals. The amount of chances he gets and the involvement he has in the top end of the pitch. Goal return isn't really good enough.
He's on 4 for the season, but none since a goal against Reading in November. Kleb. And 1 or 2 others who are putting the ball in the back of the net, and today it's been Theo Walcott with 2. Here he is again. Sanya. Cut back, Adebayor, lovely layoff, and Walcott again. He's in the mood, all right. Wants to hit everything now, and why not?
Well, this is a pure effort when you consider the 2 goals he has. 2 lovely finishes. Lovely little setback from Manuel Adebayor. Just perfect to hit in the half volley. Well, the only thing that was Zarate on, he's like a little bottle of fizzy pop. When I saw him come on against Sunderland a little earlier, loves the ball, wants to keep it. I just wondered whether they'd just put 2 up top now. Alec McLeish put 3 in midfield, having to get the goal.
Change of tactics for Alex McLeish, much decorated manager in Scotland, and did a very fine job with the national team during his 10 months in charge, including the win in France, remember. Adebayor. It's all changed here in the second half. Whatever Arsene Wenger said at half-time, he's managed to shake up his Arsenal players.
Oh, now they can just control the ball, work it around in areas like this. Come right, go left, work Birmingham City across the pitch. They have the lead, so you know, no need to force it and take chances. Just dominate the possession of the ball, and Birmingham can't score against you if you have the ball. I just don't think when they were 1 down they did enough of this.
Almost challenging Birmingham to come and get the ball off them. Trying to tempt them out, of course, as well. At the moment, Birmingham are staying home. Fabregas couldn't find a way past Damien Johnson in the midfield. A win here would put Arsenal, of course, 1 game further towards the finishing post. We do have to play some of the other teams down at the bottom away from home. Wigan, Bolton, Derby. Fabregas here, he's not going to get that. And on the last day, Arsenal go to Sunderland. I wonder how big an occasion that might turn out to be for
That would
both
depend
clubs.
on Sunderland, probably.
Doing well at home lately,
Yeah,
haven't they?
they've got a very good home record, and it's what Birmingham don't have, Ian. It's a big difference. You know, you look at their home record here, and the 4 teams you mentioned, Sunderland, Reading, Fulham and Derby, you don't beat any of them. That's not good enough, really. Only 3 home wins here all season.
And their home games to come are Spurs, Newcastle, Manchester City, Everton, Liverpool and Blackburn.
Not bad.
So none of the teams down at the bottom, unless you include Newcastle in that, who are beginning to flirt with danger, aren't they?
No, it's been a difficult day for Arsenal, more ways than one. Difficult hour of football for them. The injury, losing a goal, really not playing very well at all first half. But 15 minutes of the second half has been more like Arsenal.
Parnaby with the throw. Straight to Senderos, though. Birmingham have to come out of their shell at some point, but of course there's always the danger that if they get too gung-ho about it, Arsenal could destroy them with the space left behind.
Yeah, I don't expect them just to throw caution to the wind, and I don't think they'll be gung-ho, certainly not now, with a half an hour to go. The most important thing at the moment in these next 15 minutes is that Arsenal don't get another one as far as Birmingham City are concerned. And then maybe 10 minutes to go, Alex McLeish might just say to McFadden, go up top, go along with Zarate, we'll take a little chance then. But no point in taking a chance now and losing one and then being right out the game.
Zarate, Flamini was there for Arsenal, who look in comfortable control of things at the moment here. Walcott. Sanya. Played deep. Adebayor, who seems to get on the end of everything. That was a difficult one, though, because the ball was basically behind him.
I think he's got a big desire, the lad, to be top goal scorer in this league. You know, listen to him talk the last couple of weeks when he caught Ronaldo. He was really pleased about that. It seems a 2-horse race between him and the Manchester United flying machine. It'll be an interesting little tussle between those two, because that just might be the thing that influences where the title ends up.
Adebayor, here he is in possession. Remember, he scored in the last 7 Premier League games. The record is 10 by Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Big day for Arsenal after the trials and tribulations of Old Trafford last weekend. Well, they didn't really come out of that game with a lot of pluses. Criticised for losing it, bit petulant, and then to go in against Milan, played okay. I think the performance was good, and had Adebayor not missed one of the easiest chances he's had all season, they would have come away with a very, very good 1-0. They didn't, so it was a big day today to reaffirm their credentials as a team capable of winning the league.
And they're not out of that Milan tie, are they?
Absolutely no chance of being out of it.
Nope. They just fancy themselves to nick a goal, though it won't be easy, of course, in the San Siro. Kolo Touré could be back for that. He picked up a calf injury, but it's not as serious as first thought. got a chance of being back, although it'll be a close-run thing. Rosicki is fairly close, I'm told, to a return as well, and so too is Diaby. Juro on the sidelines, Van Persie still as well, and Eboué still 2 more matches of his suspension to serve. Murphy plays this long towards Ridgewell. Here's Senderos. Going to make another change, Birmingham. Bringing on Mehdi Nafti, the Tunisian international. He was one of those players who played in Birmingham's only Premier League win over the Gunners in 2005.
Well, a change indicates a change of system now. I thought they might wait maybe another 5 minutes or so. They decided to go with the 3, Nafti on, take the width of Larson away. 3 narrow in midfield, that was the signal. And then McFadden up beside Zarate.
Fabregas to Kleb. Now Bentner, who might have a bigger role now that Eduardo is out of the equation. Walcott again. Asked a bit about Ibayo, but his muscle has won it. Ping-pongs around, but ends up with Mike Taylor.
Well, the one thing about having 2 up top, they will occupy one of the full-backs, depending which side of the pitch the play's on. They won't both be able to go forward in the way they have been doing at the same time. But might just give a little bit of space for Arsenal players at the other end of the pitch.
It's fascinatingly poised, this. Birmingham 1, Arsenal 2. Arsenal looking to extend their lead at the top to 8 points, if only for a few hours.
And that's what Arsenal don't want to do. So comfortable in this second half. I can't remember Almunia touching the ball too often, let alone making a save. And what Sanya and co don't want to do is be giving away free kicks in areas like this. It's the one time that Birmingham City can get multiple bodies, if you like, in the box.
3 of the defenders are in there. Ridgewell, Kelly, and indeed Murphy. Zarate nearly worked on the near post. It's beaten away by Almunia. Ridgewell was the player who attacked it. Here's the tricky little Zarate, the Argentine. He's still got it too.
See what I mean about he wants a ball of his own.
Gallas got that away. That's a late challenge by Nafti.
Well, the free kick in was an absolute gem, I tell you what. And if Ridgewell gets anything on this and he equalises, fizzes it in, Ridgewell goes in there, anything on that, he just seems to lift his leg a little late. Ridgewell doesn't get it up quick enough. It's a good save. Just wonder, a little bit earlier there and seeing that ball, anything on it would have taken it past the goalkeeper.
Just needed a little flick.
That's what I mean about not giving daft free kicks away. That could have been hugely costly by Sanya.
Walcott gets to the byline. Murphy sticks to his job well. It is a corner though. Birmingham wanted the goal kick, of course.
Good little battle that between Walcott and Murphy when they're 1v1, because David Murphy's quick.
Be a big bonus for Arsenal if Theo Walcott really started to turn it on, wouldn't it, late in the season? I mean, 2 today, that could really boost his confidence in a major way.
Yeah, well, they might need it.
Fabregas floating it in towards Bentner. Not even he could get on the end of that properly. Nafti is just back from the Africa Cup of Nations, along with Radi Jaidi, who's not in the mix today. Clichy with an unusual back pass, but it's worked. Birmingham haven't won a home game in 2008, and as we were telling you at the beginning, they're 7 without a win, all told. They need to start picking up some points. They're one of a whole group of teams separated by just 4 points above Derby and Fulham.
Well, that is the pressure part of this league. Dropping out of it is unthinkable for clubs.
Incidentally, another little part of the equation today is that Eduardo, who obviously is now very much out of the game and in hospital, and Adebayor, those players were one yellow card away from a suspension, but today is the last day in which 5 yellow cards adds up to a suspension. The amnesty kicks in after this weekend. Similarly for Birmingham, Liam Ridge was on 9 yellows. He could be banned for 2 games if he gets a yellow here. Kleb plays this through, and not quite for Bentner.
I just wonder if it had opened up for Alexander Kleb. My first thought was he's going to hit this.
Arsenal might feel they need to get another one just to make this totally safe. And it's offside. Well, the injury to Eduardo hasn't been forgotten by the Arsenal supporters here. I think they all realise the seriousness of the injury. A very, very nasty one indeed in the 3rd minute of this game. He's gone to hospital, and it is obviously a career-threatening injury. Pretty pensive-looking Gary Lewin. The Arsenal physio had to deal with it at close quarters. The Arsenal players could not bear to look. Sanya for Arsenal. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half have put them back in charge of this. Kleb. Clichy. It's too long for Adebayor. He does have such a strong work ethic, though, doesn't he, Adebayor? Walcott lost a bit of Flamini. Didn't much like Johnson's challenge, but Arsenal still have it. Intricate one-touch passing around the edge of the box as they like to do, but a bit too close.
Yeah, that hasn't worked too well for them today. I think Birmingham sort of defended that fairly well. Those little give and goes on the edge of the box.
McFadden tangling with Flamini has won a free kick. Birmingham live in hope that one of these set pieces might just produce something for them. Over half their goals have come from set pieces this season, before today. Sarati to take it in his flashy orange boots. They seem to be all the rage, don't they? Johnson couldn't quite control it. Walcott has it again. Sanya. Arsenal have got a habit of rescuing games this season. This is unusual too. In 9 games where they've been behind and conceded the first goal, they've only lost 1 of them. It shows a bit of fight and character. Kleb. Birmingham finding it's taking a long time to get the ball back when Arsenal have it. It's a bit of a careless one from Gael Clichy.
Well, when you see the possession, you can understand why. Now the difficulty is there. 70% of the possession this second half has been the team in the red and white, and having grabbed 2 early goals at the beginning of this second half. It's been really difficult for Birmingham to get enough of the ball.
And of course, with the transfer window now firmly shut, no chance of further reinforcements for anybody. Sarati tangling with Adebayor. Ridgewell is just limping a little. He's an important player for Birmingham. Automatic selection.
Well, he just landed awkwardly when he was challenging Bentner for a high ball.
Limping back to his post. Ridgewell as Arsenal attack again. Looking for the goal that would surely finish the argument once and for all. Flamini to Sanya. Fullbacks enjoying themselves. Fabregas. Away by Stephen Kelly, his former Spurs player who featured in a couple of North London derbies in his time. Nafti takes on Fabregas. There's a cross, but there's no one on the end of it. Now, what McFadden thinks he was fouled there by Senderos as that ball was played in, but the referee wasn't interested. Kleb. Adebayor, Bentner. It's Fabrice Muamba. Stuart Parnaby. McFadden. What we'd give for another free kick around the edge for McFadden to have another go. Adebayor is onside here. And Emmanuel Adebayor! And it's a great save, wasn't it? Mike Taylor got his fingertips to that.
Well, he could have rolled Bentner. But he watched, I think he might have been offside. My first thought was offside, but the flag stays down. But look at Nicholas Bentner coming to join him. It's just a little square ball and Bentner's tapping it into an empty net. But he didn't look, he didn't see, he had only one thought, and that was getting another goal. It's a very good save. It's the first time he's hit the target today. Sometimes, you know, you have to have a little look, roll it to somebody, even if you don't like them, and say, go on then, it's 3-1.
I thought they're supposed to have kissed and made up. Ridgewell gets it away.
And the game's over then, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure he even saw him.
Well, he didn't look.
He only had eyes for the goal.
He didn't look.
Good save, Mike Taylor, who's made a few of those in this half. The margin stays at 1 goal. Bentner. Is there more drama to come here late on? No, that's too much weight on that from Nicholas Bentner. He would have scored, though, against his old club, had Adebayor laid that sideways.
Well, not unless he did something ridiculous. But
"12 minutes remaining. This has not been an easy day for Arsenal one way and another. And they haven't got the points here yet. Can Birmingham stage a late rally even with their 10 men? There'll be some tired legs. They've had to do a lot of chasing. Parnaby. Good-looking ball to Zarate.
he couldn't just gather it in, Zarate. Normally get a bit of touch in that.
Zarate, who's on loan from a Middle East club who paid £10 million to Vélez Sarsfield for him. That was last summer, but he's out on loan at Birmingham now, so I guess that move hadn't worked out too well.
No.
Did score a winner in the World Under-20 World Cup final for Argentina, Zarate. Birmingham's need is pretty desperate here. Clichy looks to measure this to Kleb. Keep ball from Arsenal, and of course they can afford to do this. No pressure. Kleb. Clichy wants it wide.
Not the best ball. Can't give Clichy a chance.
But they've got it back again. Sagna. Here's Theo Walcott, star of the show for Arsenal today, the 18-year-old. Fabregas lays it sideways. Flamini says, I'll have a go at this one. And he doesn't quite get the angle he wanted on it.
Oh, an easy save.
But Arsenal on course to rescue what threatened to be a lost cause. Next game, Aston Villa at home.
Big game, all big games now. And as I say, we're about to find out the next 2.5 months an awful lot about this young side.
Fabregas's volley. Of course, not a lot of the players have been there before, but the manager certainly has.
Yeah, but he can't play.
That's right.
Not allowed.
But he can advise and guide.
I think the advice, the preparation and what's required for the run-in, it's all there.
Mafti lays it sideways. Not the ball he intended, but it fell to McFadden anyway. We need a McFadden special, another one, I should say, Birmingham.
You look at the red and white shirts that were back there, you just know. See out another 8 or 9 minutes.
Muamba. Scrambled away by Gallas in the end for Arsenal. Gallas has scored the winner against Chelsea, didn't he? And the equalizer against Manchester United. Big, big goals. McFadden's the target.
He's a little unlucky. I thought he ducked under that deliberately.
Muamba. Looking to bend one to the far corner. Hasn't scored for Birmingham yet either, Fabrice Muamba. Damian Johnson. With a squall of Birmingham pressure, which of course they need. They have to commit a few more men forward now, because it's getting late.
I think Theo Walcott is obviously very convinced this is a goal kick, because he doesn't attempt to win it. As Murphy crosses it, back it comes off him. There it is, hand on his hand. And then it doesn't hit Walcott, who's happy just to say, no, it's a goal kick, I'm just going to let it go.
Bentner won the header. Here's David Murphy for Birmingham City. By the way, Franck Kedrou is fit again now. Will be challenging for that position, but it's Murphy's for the moment. Walcott back to Bakary Sagna again. Kleb. Fair enough, the challenge by Damian Johnson. He won the ball. Kleb's complaining about it, but it looked a clean challenge by Damian Johnson. And this is offside.
I'll tell you what, I don't think he had to go. McFadden, they're so high up the pitch here, Arsenal. Having a little debate about the tackle. I think it's a decent tackle. I think he wins the ball. But this is, well, look at McFadden's position. I don't think he has to stray offside here. Look at a line right across there. Look at all the grass in behind. Just a little anxious.
Just need to get one moment like that right, Birmingham. Damian Johnson gets the free kick this time. Got to go for it now, Birmingham, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the state of the game. They're as well losing 3-1 as they are 2-1.
This is launched long. Up goes McFadden and wins the header. Tries to find Zarate. Clichy's there. Gets it away for Arsenal. Now Flamini. to Adebayor. Bentner moving ahead of him, but Adebayor's ball's not good enough. Murphy, his first touch was not quite the one he intended, and he had to do his own kind of rescue mission.
No, we're not in too much a hurry to take this. There's no one within about 30 yards of the ball from Arsenal. Play, I think that says.
It's unusual as Arsene Wenger, who was telling his players just get on with the game here. Fabregas just behind Adebayor. Not quite happened for Emmanuel Adebayor today. Shouldn't have cut his hair, should he?
No, it's a one goal. A couple of really, really good chances.
Walcott, another good run. And Murphy just did enough there. It's been a good battle between those two.
Yeah, as I said that earlier. Good little battle between the two.
Here's Mauro Zarate. David Murphy. Adebayor using his strength very, very well there with Kelly, who just does enough. But then there's Bentner, and it's just gone wide of the far post.
The angle against him. I'm not so sure whether Mike Taylor gets something on it. Bentner's convinced that he did. He works the ball. He's looking for himself again, Adebayor. He wants to get the shot off. It's a tight, tight angle. We'll get a better idea from this shot whether he brushes the glove. No, I think it's past him. But that's how close he was, Bentner, to scoring back at St Andrews.
He's already come up with one crucial touch, hasn't he, this season, Bentner, scoring with his first touch in the North London derby. That header. Arsenal might be making a couple of changes late on. Birmingham given the ball away. Kleb here towards Adebayor. No, but Murphy's there again. Birmingham cling on. Still just in the argument. Zarate.
You can't go for that. He's miles offside, Murphy, and he knew it.
And it's gone out of play. Almunia gets dumped under the seat of his pants anyway. But it's starting to look like it'll be a winning return to the side for Manuel Almunia. Well, Gilberto's been a fringe player this season, the former skipper. He's going to come on, and referee meanwhile just wants a word with those two players about that little spat over there. Something and nothing really, wasn't it? Palace is having something to say about it too. Kleb comes off. And Gilberto will replace him. And the other substitution will involve the introduction of the young Brazilian Denilson. So two Brazilian midfield players coming on here.
Token gesture, these substitutions.
And Walcott comes off as well. 2 goals for him. And by the way, those are the first goals scored in the league by an English player for Arsenal since Justin Hoyt got one about a year ago. Fabregas, it'll be 4 minutes of added time here. Arsenal 2-1 up, having been behind and lost Eduardo to a shocking injury. Nafty. McFadden couldn't quite reach it, frustratingly for the Blues.
Well, now the ball's in there, they really have to push people in to make life difficult for Arsenal to get the ball out.
Unless Birmingham can come up with something late here, it looks like the form book will be obeyed in the end. All the sides in the top half who visited Birmingham this season have won. West Ham, Manchester United, Villa, Portsmouth, Chelsea, and Arsenal 2-1 up in stoppage time.
Well, it's been anything like vintage Arsenal, but as we've said from the first third minute of this match, difficult day for them. They've just about done enough.
Fabregas onto Adebayor. Now Denilson. Adebayor again, running out of time if he wants to equal Alan Smith's record of post-war record anyway, of scoring in 8 successive league games. That was in the 88-89 season.
I've just looked along the gantry and Alan Smith's doing the game for us.
Yes,
lads,
yes.
And he's looking down at the referee saying, time up, ref.
Blow,
Goodness me, blow your whistle, lad. Records are nice things to keep. Smudger will be chuffed in many ways.
It is a post-war record.
Yeah.
David Jack did it 9 games in a row back in 1931 for Arsenal. I think Smudger's safe. Nearly, anyway. Murphy. Flamini. Not very Arsenal-like, this ball. Now then, Johnson. McFadden. Battle away with Clichy. It's not telling they're going to remain in the mire. Stuart Parnaby back to Mehdi Nafti. Now they've got a few blue shirts forward in there. They're running out of time and not the best cross. No. Oh, there's a mistake there by Clichy. Is that a penalty kick? It is! Maybe salvation for Birmingham. Oh my goodness me. Gael Clichy. Huge error, and Birmingham City have the chance here to rescue this.
Oh, this is amazing. He looks over his shoulder, he doesn't see him coming. The stick's a left foot, and he knows as he plays the ball away there. He might say it brushed my studs, but it didn't hit it enough.
Parnaby, the player who was fouled. It was a loss of concentration by the young left back.
Total. Well, Arsene Wenger will be absolutely livid. William Gallas is nearly down the tunnel. He's down below me on the right-hand side, walking towards the tunnel. The skipper, he's miles away from anything that's happening. What if the goalie saves it and it comes back out and Gallas should be protecting his lead?
He can't believe it. He's at the other end of the pitch, Gallas, disgusted. Arsene Wenger can't believe it. It's some day here, isn't it, at St Andrews, and James McFadden, who scored from the spot at West Ham to rescue a point for Birmingham last week. What a point this would be for Alex McLeish's side after everything that's happened. It might be about the last kick of the game, you know.
This is not over yet, by the way.
It's McFadden against Almunia, who's been recalled to the side today. What drama. And McFadden has done it. 2 goals for him, 2 for Birmingham, and the most improbable of points. Can you believe this?
Well, I'll tell you what, Gallas has just whacked one of the hoardings with such fury. I think the supporters thought he was going into them, but what a penalty. What a finish. This is what you call keeping your cool. That's a superb penalty. Anytime you get it up in the air, you've got a chance. Goalkeepers always go down low, and there's only the best way of saving it.
The nerveless James McFadden.
And here's Gallas. Looked to me like he was going to the fans, and then he just whacks into the hoarding, kicks it in fury. So frustrated with his teammates. He's not interested, Gallas. He might as well not be there.
There's only just time to restart the game. It is a draw. This is some finale here. Arsenal have thrown away 2 points against 10 men. A game they were in more or less total control of. Mistake by Gaël Clichy. How vital will those 2 points lost be when the final mathematics are done? And how precious might that point be for Alex McLeish's Birmingham City, who played with 10 men here for 87 minutes, but drew with the leaders. And all of that in a game overshadowed by a terrible broken leg injury to Eduardo, who has gone to hospital. Arsene Wenger is trying to contain his anger. Eduardo is remembered amid this drama, but it has finished here with Gallas sitting there in a lone protest, seething with anger, wondering how Arsenal threw that away. But the fact of the matter is that it's Birmingham City 2, Arsenal 2.
Well, Arsenal have just left him. He's on his own. He was booked, incidentally, for his reaction to the equaliser. He's on his own down there and going nowhere. Get up, son. Sort yourself out. I mean, there's disappointed and there's daft, and that's daft. 2-2. It just shows, doesn't it? You can never look over. Well, Arsene Wenger looks as though he's on the way back now to go and get his skipper. We are incidentally staying here until 3:15 in order that we can get all the reaction to what's turned out to be quite an afternoon here at St Andrews. If you want Soccer Saturday, then you need to retune to Sky Sports News for scores as they unfold elsewhere from 3 o'clock. But we're staying here until 3:15. Let's have a look what happens here. Of course you're disappointed, but blimey. Imagine if Almunia saves that and he's over on the halfway line continuing his protest. Well, it's finished 2-2. Bottom of the table looks like this. It's a really big point from Birmingham's point of view. It lifts them up 1. At the moment, Wigan, of course, play later against Derby County. Paul Jewell goes back to the JJB this afternoon. Sunderland are at Portsmouth. 23 from 27 played for Birmingham City now. Top half, just a point for Arsenal when they really were expecting 3. 6 points is the gap between themselves and Manchester United. Fixtures for later, confirmation: Fulham meet West Ham. It's Liverpool with 1 win, just the 1 win in 7 against Borough. Newcastle haven't won in 9. They entertain Manchester United. It's Portsmouth, Sunderland and Wigan against Derby County. Don't forget football first tonight, 8:25, Sky Sports 1. Football tomorrow, all these matches on Sky Sports 1. We start early with the Central Coast Mariners against the Newcastle Jets. That's A-League football, Australian football, 6 in the morning. Sky Sports 1. It's the grand final between those two. Later, Reading play Aston Villa at midday. It's available in high definition on channel 408. So too the League Cup final between Chelsea and Spurs, which follows at 2:30. Later, it's Barcelona against Levante. Barca 5 points off the top. Levante bottom. It's an easier match than Real Madrid have got. That starts at 6. Real, who have lost 2 of their last 3, meet Getafe at 8. Both those games on Sky Sports 3. David Platt's with us. Reaction to an extraordinary afternoon at St Andrews. When we come back, it's finished Birmingham 2, Arsenal 2, and that just about starts to tell you the story. We'll run through it when we come back.
Football in March on Sky Sports. Follow the race for the title in the Premier League, including Grand Slam Sunday, the heavyweights clash in the knockout stages of the Champions League. It's the quarter-final of the FA Cup and Scottish Cup. Absolutely wonderful. With more from the Football League. Internationals including France v England and Scotland v Croatia. Football in March on Sky Sports.
Hold